Next we have Mr. Abhishek Sharma. Please welcome Mr. Abhishek Sharma, who will be addressing us on future of cloud computing.
He is a cloud and DevOps engineer, Google Cloud Champions Innovator, Cloud Mentor, and Content Creator.
He holds an expertise in optimizing and modernizing cloud infrastructure in hybrid and multi-cloud environments with GCP.
His other skills include proficiency in various DevOps tools and Google Cloud. So please give a huge round of applause for Abhishek Sharma.
Hi everyone. Am I audible? Yeah? So how many of you are familiar with this particular term, hybrid or multi-cloud? Oh, sorry. This is the wrong slide. Yeah. Just raise your hand if you are familiar with this particular term, hybrid or multi-cloud. Have you ever saw this anywhere? Like I have AWS, I have Azure, I have set up multi-cloud. Have you done this before? No? Just heard about this term, right? Okay, so in this session we are going to see how this particular thing comes into the picture and how you can set up your own environment. Okay, so this is little bit about myself. Who am I? So currently I am working as cloud engineer at Searce, which is Google Cloud Premier Partner. I am Champions Innovator in hybrid or multi-cloud. So if you want to connect with me, just scan this LinkedIn profile link and yeah. So let's see the agenda first. So first we'll see what is hybrid and multi-cloud. So first we'll see, I think most of us don't know about this particular term called hybrid and multi-cloud. So for those folks, we'll see first what is hybrid or multi-cloud. Then we'll see why we need hybrid or multi-cloud. And then after we'll see what are the challenges we have while setting up this kind of environment. And then we'll see Google Cloud product called Anthos and its feature while setting up this kind of environment. And then I will provide some of the learning resources to you so that you can set up your own multi-cloud environment. So, ready? Excited? Yeah? No, why? What happened? Okay, so let's start with what is hybrid or multi-cloud. So I think this is already explainable, right? Let's suppose you have your own data center and you have different cloud platform already set up for your organization. If I combine both of them, it is called as what? Hybrid cloud, right? In the same manner, if I am having some workloads in AWS, some workloads in Azure, and some in GCP, and if I combine all three, it is called as multi-cloud, right? So this is very fascinating, right? I have different cloud platforms and I am combining those platforms in one place. Seems amazing, right? But let's see why we require hybrid and multi-cloud. So most of the time what happens when we work on any specific platform, we lock in with that particular platform. We can't able to go beyond that. So if I want to utilize special services from different cloud platforms, I need to use different platforms, right? So let's suppose if I want cheap solutions, I directly go for AWS. If I want AI ML solutions or GKE or big data solution, I go for Google Cloud, right? So every cloud provider is having their own specialty. And if I want to use those specialty in one place, I have to use this kind of architecture called hybrid or multi-cloud. It will also help you know vendor lock-in. So sometime what happens, how many of you play PUBG? Yeah, there are so many people, right? So last year we saw this particular news that government suddenly announced that we are going to ban PUBG, right? And then after we can't able to use. We use that particular thing by using some proxy or something, but it is officially banned, right? So what happened if some cloud get banned? And if you have all your workload in that particular place, then you can think what disaster it can be, right? So that's why it is very important that you are not aligned with only one cloud. You should think for hybrid or multi-cloud environment. So this is one more reason. Also, if you want to flexibly utilize different APIs which were offered by different cloud provider, you can use this particular environment. So this is amazing thing. But if this is this much important or this much amazing, why people are not moving toward this particular technology? Like, if this is this much amazing thing, then every organization should use this kind of technology. But why they are not here? Because there are some challenges. So before moving to that particular challenge, let's talk about monolith and microservice. I think in the previous talk, we already heard about this microservice term, right? In which what we do actually, we have our whole application. We just decouple that application's component in different containers, and we run that container in some orchestration tool like Google Kubernetes engine. So if you have your application in one place, all your microservice, like if I have some kind of website in which I'm doing some kind of shopping. So there is payment service, shopping service, store, and front end. If I take all these things in one place, it is called as monolith. If I segregate this, that is called as microservice. So let's move to our main topic called challenges with hybrid and multi-cloud. So one challenge is, if you are building any application, you build in this way that you run this particular application in a specific environment. So let's suppose I am targeting AWS. So you think that these are the number of services from AWS I am going to use, right? You don't think in a way that I'm gonna use Google's this particular service. So this is one problem, that you can't able to adopt very easily this particular environment. Second problem is that if you set up this kind of environment, you have some kind of high level observability. So that I can say, hey, in AWS I have some issue. In Google I have some issue, I just go and troubleshoot. So this kind of flexibility we don't have. That is one more problem. And then after, sorry, okay, let's get back. Okay. Also one more thing, that if you are owner of any organization, so your employees might be more familiar with AWS or Azure. Whatever native cloud platform they are using, they are more familiar with that. So this is one more problem, that you are enforcing them to switch to another cloud or this hybrid environment. So might be chances that someone who not knowing much about Google Cloud and working in that. So this take lots of cost. So let's move to solution for these problems. So whatever problem I discuss here, we have some solution with Google Cloud. So Anthos is the solution. So if you see high level overview of Anthos, so whenever I run any application, first I do just go allocate any resource, like either virtual machine, either Google Kubernetes engine, or any Kubernetes solution in which my application is going to host. On top of that, what I do, basically I configure the networking, and then after I configure the some observability stack, and then after, based on feedback, I advance my infrastructure. So this is the basic architecture we have in any organization while deploying any application. In the same manner, Anthos Service Mesh is also offering some kind of services so that you can manage each and every level. So let's suppose if you want to manage the networking between hybrid cloud, we have Anthos Service Mesh with multi-cluster ingress, so that you can route your traffic to different cluster which is present in different environments. So some cluster is on AWS, some cluster in Google Cloud. You can route the traffic using this feature. So let's deep dig out into this particular thing called Anthos. So while talking about challenges with multi-cloud, first challenge we see that it's a challenge to make their application and existing infrastructure flexible to adopt heterogeneous environment. As I already told you, whenever you build any application, you target a specific cloud or a specific infrastructure. So here Google Cloud Anthos will help you adopt this kind of technology. So what happened? Currently, microservice architecture is booming. Everyone has heard this particular word microservice, and in the previous slide as well, we heard about lots of talks related to microservice, right? But still, there are lots of organizations who are using monolith kind of architecture. So when you ask somebody that how I can convert my monolith application into microservice, it's a tedious task. So for that, we have service called Migrate for Anthos. It will automatically analyze your application and create some Docker file and convert it into an end-to-end microservice-based solution. So it is very easy. You just provide your application, it will convert it into a microservice. So this is very easy. On top of that, GKE on-prem and Anthos clusters are over there. So let's suppose you have microservice-based workload, and if you want to have some kind of managed Google Kubernetes Engine solution in your on-prem or in other cloud, we have Google GKE Anthos. So it will solve you our first problem. And then after, observability of end-to-end infrastructure with security practices. So we already heard about security thing, why it is important. So, and also we learn about Istio. Have you heard about Istio? Yeah? Just before this slide, we heard about Istio, right? Why, guys? Don't do like this, okay? So, managed version of Istio is called as Anthos Service Mesh. So whatever he explained, right? It is more related to open source version, but this is the managed version of Istio, which is called Anthos Service Mesh. And same kind of flexibility you get using this particular thing called Anthos Service Mesh, in which you can set up the entire networking of your cluster. Also, you can enforce the policies to it. So suppose I have 2 pods running in my cluster. I can able to enforce some security so that they can communicate via HTTPS internally inside the cluster. So whatever he said, right, that if clusters are communicating via HTTPS, it's a vulnerable, right? So this is the thing. Now these are the number of features we have in Anthos. You can just go through all the resources which I will provide at the end so that you can deep dig out, because we are running out of time. Sorry. So these are the learning resources I have listed out. If you want to see the hybrid and multi-cloud environment in the live demo, just go through this particular link. You will get a hands-on lab. So I already recorded one slide, one video before this particular session. So just go through it. You will get how to set up the multi-cloud environment. So in which what I have done, I have installed Google Kubernetes Engine cluster inside AWS. And infrastructure is from AWS, but I am managing from Google Cloud itself. So yeah, this is all from my end, guys. If you have any question, then please raise your hand. We have 2 minutes left. No? Nothing? Okay, yeah, they have some few. So basically, behind the scene, if you just saw that particular video which I provided, sorry. Okay, so whenever you go to this particular link, I just gone through the official documentation in which Google Cloud Anthos is having their own platform called Anthos Fleet, in which there is some connect gateway, which will call APIs behind the scenes so that you can authorize yourself to communicate with other platforms, and in the same way logs will come. So basically billing is from another cloud itself. No, because by the end of the day, we are utilizing infrastructure from another clouds. We are managing it, we are handling it, we are configuring from Google Cloud itself, but infrastructure is from another cloud. So you have to pay for that. But it is also having their own cost. So yeah. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay then, thank you everyone.
I acknowledge your guidance truly. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Shri sir to please come on the stage and felicitate our speaker.